All right, so here's my deer. I laid a layer over the top of it, and I did this drawing. Now, if I go down here to where it says layers here, okay, I could make this bottom layer invisible, and you can see how you can see what my drawing looks like without that bottom layer, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my medium tones, which is kind of a brown color. So what I'm gonna do now is this. I'm gonna choose some kind of color that's close to brown, and if it's not the exact perfect color, it's totally fine. So here's a kind of a light brown. I'm choosing that right up here, okay? Now I'm gonna take my pencil, and I'm gonna choose my pencil. So I'm gonna go over here, pick out the pencil right there, and right now I'm just gonna test that out, and you can see it's a brown color. So now I'm gonna start filling in some of this. So it goes pretty quick. If I just took a brown line and went like this, okay? And then maybe I took a brown line right here, and then I put a brown line around this part of his eye that's supposed to remain white. And so I'm isolating the brown areas. Now, let's see, I'm gonna take a brown line and put one up here, in there, and maybe here. And then I'm going to, let's see, maybe a brown line here. Okay, and I'm gonna just take my paint bucket now. So go over here where the paint bucket is. If the paint bucket wouldn't be showing, it's probably because the Radiant tool should be. Right now I take the paint bucket, and unless I have a leak, I should be able to just click in here. Oh, I have a leak someplace, okay? So do Control Z. So Control Z, undo that. Someplace there's a leak where it's leaking out. So if I get rid of my drawing underneath, I might be able to see where the leak would be. Can't really tell. I'm gonna have to zoom in on some areas and see if I can find where the leak is. Okay, that should take a second, but hopefully I can figure that out. Let's look in here kind of, I'm gonna zoom in a little closer. So if I zoom in, okay, I can look around here and see if there's a leak. I'm holding the space bar down and getting this. Not sure where the leak is. Let's get rid of this one. Where is there a leak? Oh, you know what? It looks like there's a leak right there. So I have brown right now. I'm just gonna temporarily take my brown and just put a line there. And let's take the paint bucket again. Take the paint bucket and click in here. And there is no leak now. Now I can zoom out, and you're gonna see that, let's go zoom out. Oop, the other way. Okay. Now my deer is looking a little bit more like a graphic image. Okay, zoom in a little bit. And he's looking a little bit better. Now let's bring that other picture back up so I can see where else he needs to be brown. I think I want some brown in here on the ears. So I'm gonna take once again, I'll take my drawing tool and maybe I'll add a little brown in here. Sort of like that. Looks like there's some brown up here on the antler. So I'm gonna draw a line here. Oh, take my brown line and kind of draw a line up here. And we'll see what happens if I take my bucket and click in there. Oh, I made too much brown. Now, if I did make too much brown, I could always come back in with a white. But let's zoom in here again. Let's look at, I'm gonna make the bottom layer invisible so I can see a little bit what I'm doing. I can see in here that, oh, I got a leak right over here. I can see where it is. Here's my leak right in this area. That should be touching. Now I should be able to take my paint bucket and click in there, okay? So pretty good idea. Now on my drawing right now, I think I want some white in here. Let's take a look at this. I think when I look at my original, let's look at this. Oop. Let's make the top original. I need some white in that ear. I actually made that too brown. So let's go back to my deer, and I'm gonna go on that layer, and I'm gonna choose the color white, and I'm gonna take my pencil, and I'm gonna add some white inside the ear here. So it's not just, the ear's not just all brown. And maybe I'll do some white highlights, maybe a white highlight here on the antler right there, okay? So I got a little bit more, maybe a little white highlight on the antler here. And then I'm gonna start filling in white in some areas. So why do you need to fill in white? because on this drawing right now, if I got rid of the drawing, everything that's checkered is actually clear. So I'm going to fill in the clear with white. So I could choose the color white. I'll take my paint bucket. And I'm just going to click white in some of these areas. Oh, there's a leak there. So I need to go back. I'm going to eyedrop the color. Let's go back, Control Z. Okay, there's a leak right in here. There's a leak right there. So I need to eyedrop the color black. Take my pencil. Let's fix that leak. And I should be able to now take my color white, take my paint bucket and click in there, here, there.